Hello and welcome to this HumanBot overview. I'm going to show you how to create your first campaign from start to finish, step by step. Now after you log into the app for the first time, you'll be taken to the home page. Here you'll find the latest news and updates, all the important links, all the latest news about updates in the app. Let's get started creating our first campaign. We want to click on the My Campaigns tab and then click New Campaign. Now first, we get to choose the type of campaign that we're going to create. This top option, Start from Scratch, this is our blank canvas. This is going to give us an empty chat tree, and we'll add all the blocks to build the chat ourselves from scratch. These next two options, Live Chat and AI Smart Chat, these will load in a pre-made tree based on that type. So for example, this will give you a ready-made live chat tree, and this will give you a ready-made AI Smart Chat tree. So you can kind of use it as is with all the blocks you need or tweak it, but there's nothing to say that you can't use a from scratch and add in your own live chat or AI Smart Chat blocks and have the same features. Now, an important option for these three is our talking virtual assistant. Now, this is on by default. When it's enabled, everything that the HumanBot says in the chat will also be spoken by the HumanBot with lip sync. This is a pretty amazing feature. There's no pre-rendering. It's able to speak anything in the chat, respond dynamically to the visitor, all with lip sync. Again, no pre-rendering. But you can turn this off. You can ask us if we're sure, because again, this is a great feature. And in this case, it will pre-render a specific welcome message. So when the chat starts, it'll say its welcome message, and then the avatar will be done. Let's turn this back on. Let me touch on the final two options. I'll go over them more later in this video, but the avatar only, this will not have a chat dialog. It'll only be the little talking avatar reciting your pre-made script down the corner, kind of like the previous Video Pal product that Paul offered. And green screen video. This is going to be a simplified version where it's not going to have an actual campaign or create a chat, but it'll let you choose an avatar, choose your script, and it will output a green screen video that you can then use in any application. Vid editor, Adobe software, Camtasia, or you can remove the green screen background and integrate it into your own project. So let's get started. Let's choose Start from Scratch. We start up the wizard. Step 1, choose an avatar. See, here are all the different avatars. Male and female, different races, different ages. Each one will have multiple outfits, medical, formal, casual. When we hover, we can get a close-up when we click preview. And then we can select to choose this avatar. Now there's also the option to skip if for your campaign you only need the chat window and not the avatar. We want the avatar, so let's click next. We're on step 2, assistant voice options. Now since we're using the talking virtual assistant, there isn't a welcome message. We're just going to choose our language and voice. I'll show that later in the video. We choose our language. You see we have all kinds of different languages. There's also accents, for example, English, but with an Indian accent. Our female voice, and we hit preview, here a demo.
Hello, my name is Nirja. You can pick me as your text-to-speech human-like voice.
There's other languages.
Hallo, mein Name ist Katja.
Let's go back to English. Try out a couple.
Hello, my name is Amber.
Anna.
Hello, my name is Anna. You can pick me as your text.
Kid's voice.
Hello, my name is Elizabeth. You can pick me as your text-to-speech.
Sounds good. Go to the next step. Step 3, customize style. So here we're going to adjust how our chat window looks. First, we have our color style. We have different pre-made themes. As you can see, by default, we start with this green and blue theme. You can see it down here in the preview. We can immediately change our color scheme here to a blue, orange, dark. But we also have the option to use custom colors. So we can choose any combination we'd like. Maybe do our company branding. Either paste in a regular web color code, or we can just click on it, go with the slider, pick our color. See, we've just changed our primary button. Let's go back to the default color scheme. Now, other options, we have the avatar's name. This is what appears at the top of the chat window. This is also how the avatar will refer to themselves in the chat. To further customize this, now it comes with a thumbnail of their face. That's what appears here. But you could customize this if you needed. There's also a logo. Here you could upload a logo. It'll appear in a corner here. This is all good. Let's go to the next step. Step 4, our chat dialog. Here is where we're going to build our chat tree. Now, first off, there's some ready-made chat trees, so you don't have to start from scratch. We can pull this down. We have standard. These are more general topics like customer acquisition, customer feedback, selling software, webinars, taking orders. Spokesperson, these are more your niches. Childcare, dentist office. We can choose the language. Now, HumanBot is able to translate the chats into the region that the visitor is from. But if you know this HumanBot is always going to be used in a certain country, you can have it translated by default into that language and choose it here, and it'll translate this pre-made tree into that language. We also have a search. So let's find a dentist. Here's our dentist. We hit load, and it gives us a tree already made. You can see I'm clicking, holding, and I can drag the tree around. Click, holding, letting up. You kind of get way off to the side. You can hit center, kind of brings it back. So you can see the tree. But let's build our own tree. So let's hit clear the tree. Yes. Back to a blank tree. No blocks. Let's click here, add an action. Now the standard block is just a text block. All it's going to do is show text, and that's it. I have up to 3 lines. It is Helena. Nice to see you. Now we can add a short code. Click this, gives us a little pop-up. So we can insert in an emoji, either a static one, an animated one, or some data. Now these are special codes that are pre-filled in, either based on things that the visitor says later in the chat, or based on their location or their fixed data. For example, there's avatar. So instead of writing her name in here, which may change, and we could forget to update that, we could insert in the avatar short code. See the name of the short code here in brackets, and the HumanBot will automatically fill this in with the proper name, Helena, for us. Another example of this pre-made is country detected. So we could say, I see you're from and it could list their countries. So I could say, I could see you're from the United States. Now there's other fields. These are things that you'll see later here that the visitor has entered when they've entered their name, their email, their phone number, they've entered a date, a time, or a location, it's able to repeat that back to the user. Let's delete a block, delete this one, let's save this block, and we've created our first block. It's a text block. Next block in the tree, let's add a question. So at the top, we put in our text. What is your name? We scroll down, we have some options. Now, this is the type of answer. It can just be text. That's kind of a universal catch-all, so they can enter anything in that they'd like. So rather than those pre-made ones like name, phone number, we could instead say, what's your favorite food? And have the key be food. This, though, is name. This is one of the built-in ones, so we can assign this as type name. And you can see these all map those different shortcuts we were just looking at. So name, save, and in the next one, we can do a yes, no. This is going to give the visitor two choices. So for example, we can say, we'd like to give you a great deal. Is this something you'd like? We have the two choices. We can customize this if we want. Just leave this yes and no. And this is the simple version. See, there's an advanced chat. So the simple version, the yes reply. So if they hit yes, you say great. And if they say no, you really don't want to miss this. Save. And in the next block, we can prompt them for their email address. What's your email? I'll type email. Now you notice that since this is a simple, not advanced yes, no, no matter what they say, it's going to say their reply and it's going to continue onto the same block. We can change this to an advanced chat where it's actually going to branch. So we can get more of a detailed flow. So if I change this, I'm going to remove these. And now you can see we actually have a branch. This path for the yes answer, this path for the no answer. So if they said yes, and it'll ask them for their email. If they said no, we could perhaps say, offer them a URL that they can visit instead. Now even these branches can branch. So if I were to add an action here, and let's just, for example, say, do you prefer cats or dogs? It's another yes, no, advanced. Let's change this. So choice 1 is cats. Choice 2 is now dogs. You can see we have two different trees. So in this one, now we can offer them some cat-related products. This one, we can offer them some dog-related products. And you can see how you can make some really sophisticated chat workflows. Let's take a look at some more block types. Next, we have buttons. This is going to give a fixed list of different options that the visitors can pick from. So you say, what is your favorite color? Then rather than leaving it open-ended, we could just say red, green, blue, purple, yellow. So you can add up to 5 of this saved under color. Next up, URL. This is pretty straightforward. I'll give a clickable link. The option for some text. So it'll show that instead of the link. And I click on it, it'll still open up the URL. And we can choose how it's going to open. It'll either open as a new tab or download. If, for example, you're linking them PDF file or zip file. And if you'd rather have this appear as a button rather than text, you can turn this on. picture. So show a picture in the chat. So look at this cat picture. Upload an image, kittens, and it'll display in the chat. You also have the option of using animated GIFs. You can also upload actual videos. Either upload an MP4 from your computer or paste in a YouTube or Vimeo video. It'll play embedded in the chat. They can click it for full screen. There it is. Next up, keywords. Now this is a simple way to respond to questions without using any AI. It's all based on matching keywords. So once this starts, it'll say, how can I help you? You can adjust all this. Here's what it says if what the visitor typed doesn't have any of the keywords that we specified below. Sorry, I'm not sure what you mean. And here's what the button says that they'll click when they want to leave this keywords block. By default, it'll keep prompting them, how can I help, until they hit I'm done. Unless you check this box, then as soon as they get their first answer, it'll leave. So how do we do this? Keywords, let's say we have a webinar. This is our sign up page. We think of like the common questions that people want to ask. They may say schedule. We put each one separated by a comma, so they may say schedule, when, what time, and then a response. Be a Monday at 7 p.m. That's the first one. Let's say people might want to know how much it is. So we can say how much, cost, money. Say it'll cost $25 to register. So this is a simplified chat block where it's only going to watch for these keywords and give these responses and nothing else. Save this. Let's jump to AI Smart Chat, because this is one of the big headline features of the app. This one is a much more advanced version of the keywords that we just looked at. It uses actual AI. So they'll be able to talk to it, ask general questions, have a conversation just like with a real person. Now you do still have the option for keywords and responses if you want to make sure that the HumanBot gives a very specific answer that the AI may not know. For example, your support email. But I'll show you later, there's even more powerful feature with this, where you'll be able to give the AI Smart Chat web pages and documents, and it will read them and learn them. So you won't have to tell it your location or your support email or your services. The AI will actually look at those pages and learn them and be able to answer them automatically. Let's save this. Now we jumped over the live chat block. We'll go into this more in depth in a separate video, but basically by adding this block, it's going to allow the visitor to drop into a live chat with you. You're going to have a special website that you can log into, and it'll give you a little alert when there's a visitor at the site that wants to chat, and you'll be able to jump in and type with them directly through our instant messenger. There's a record block. It's going to give them a button where they can leave a message. They'll record it in their browser with their microphone, and we have the option to send a notification and enter your email. So as soon as you record a message, you'll get an email with a link so you'll be able to play back the message that they recorded. We have a slider. This is a great way to show off some different featured products. For example, you can upload a image, give it a title, give it a price, what the button should say, and where the button should go. Product 1. And a second product. And so on. And they'll give it a nice little slider that they'll be able to flip back and forth through, see the different products, click on the ones they like, and get taken directly to the product page. Our final block type, exit survey. Now you can throw this block into the end of any of your chat tree branches. It'll only work at the end. Basically, it's going to ask the visitor if they were satisfied, if they got all the answers they needed, and if not, they can either start a live chat or get an email to contact. So here you'd enter in your email. And it just makes it easier to add this little exit survey to every branch. Especially since you may have multiple endpoints. You don't want to add it into each one. It's a great way to see that the visitor is happy. Now, one final thing on this step, shows you how to move around. You also notice as I hover over blocks, there's some options. We have a plus, so let's say I needed to add a block in between these two. I can hit plus here, and here's our new block right in between. We also have the option to delete a block. And we can move a block. We have an up and a down. So if I wanted this to become the first block, click this. Now at the top, and I can move it back down. Let's go on to the next step. Step 5, player options. First, we control the position of our HumanBot. By default, it's going to be down the bottom right, but we can also put it in the middle or on the left side. Next, we have the offset. Now, by default, it should sit nicely along the edge and be spaced out just right. But based on your design or other elements on the page, maybe it'll be slightly off. You can kind of nudge it, either X or Y pixels, to get it in just the right place. We have some more options. Play once for visit. This makes sure that the chat will open once the first time that the user visits the page. It won't appear again until they close their browser and come back. Now, this is especially useful if you, for example, were to add this into the header on a WordPress blog. So it'd be on every single page. You wouldn't want the chat to start over every single time they open up a new page or look at a new product. You want to see it the first time they visit, and once they're done, it goes away. Next, we have the mute button. Now, by default, you can always close the HumanBot. It'll still leave the chat open, but the avatar will go away. You also have the option of showing a mute button. That way they can mute it, but still have it there. Blackout mode. This really highlights the HumanBot. It's going to put a black overlay over the entire page, kind of fade it out, make it semi-transparent, and only the chat and the HumanBot will be highlighted. And finally, you can paste in a YouTube or Vimeo link that will play after the HumanBot is done. Now we're using the talking avatar. If we disabled that option in the beginning and had the pre-rendered welcome message, there'd be some additional options here. I'll show you those in a bit. Let's continue on to the next step. Final step, campaign options. So here we can name our campaign. We have the option to automatically translate the text to the visitor's language. When this is enabled, our chat is in English. The HumanBot can detect if the visitor was in Germany, and it could automatically translate all the chat responses into German. Now, the visitor also has the option to click on the little flag and manually change it to German if they'd like. But with this option, it'll do it automatically. We have an option to integrate with Zapier. Cover this more in another video. Zapier is a third-party service that lets you do a lot of automations, So for example, it could take every new chat and save the data into a Google Sheet or add the email addresses into an autoresponder, all done automatically. Now we have document training. This is because we had that AI Smart Chat block. Like I said earlier, we can actually give the AI web pages so it can learn specifically about our business, about our topic. So for example, this was a dentist office. I can add a URL. I can give it the web page with the dentist team. I can give it another URL with the services offered. I can give it the contact page that's got the location and the phone number. I can also add a file. For example, I could upload in their privacy form so that visitors could ask questions specifically about that. This makes sure that the AI gives the right answers because it's trained on your sites. Next up, we have the Powered by branding. Below the chat dialog, there's going to be a little Powered by. By default, it's going to be HumanBot. You can change it to custom. Here you can add in your company name, company URL. So anyone that wants to learn more about how it was created will be taken to your page, or you could have no branding whatsoever. Now, since we added that live chat block, it's requiring us to fill this out. Just type in a password here. We'll cover live chats in another video, but this is where you'll set up the password for the portal, the different text prompts, and how to handle it if you're not able to respond quickly. Next, we have Facebook post, title, description. There could be some special metadata. So if you ever paste a link on Facebook, say your instant URL here, it'll be able to format it nicer. It'll show your title, your description, a nice little thumbnail, rather than treating it like a normal link. And finally, the instant URL. Now, this is a really cool feature that lets you give a demo to a potential client to show them how their page would look if it had a human bot on it, but without actually having to modify or get access to their site. So first you choose the domain that you want to use, and these are all kind of generic names that don't point back to the HumanBot app. Human Chat Demo, HumanChat.org. Then you paste in the URL of the site that it's going to appear over. So this would be their website. And this will create a special unique URL that you'll be able to send them. I'll show you that shortly. Now, sometimes the website may specifically block the ability to overlay this HumanBot over their site. Now, this isn't a problem once you actually add the code directly to the site, but if that's the case, you can use this Use Site Screenshot option. And basically, instead of overlaying over the top of their site, it'll take a screenshot of their site and overlay over the top of that. So you won't be able to interact with the site, but you'll still get the feel of how it'll look. And that's it. Now we have the option to create a draft if we weren't quite done. We're all good. Let's hit Create Campaign. And we're taken to the My Campaigns tab. Here's the campaign I just created. Now, since this was using the Talking Virtual Assistant option, it's not pre-rendered, it's available immediately. If we turn that off and it was pre-rendered, we'd have a progress bar. And after it's rendered, it'll let us know it's available. So let's look at all the different options here. Let's look at this earlier one. We can hit Preview.
Welcome to our website. What is your name?
And we're able to test out our new chat, make sure everything's working right. We can start it over.
Welcome to our website. What is your name?
We can get our instant URL here. Let's go back. We can get the code. We have two different tabs. Embed. This is all the code that you will paste into your website in order to make the HumanBot appear. This can be anything. This can be a regular HTML page or WordPress blog. We'll give some more examples in different videos. Here's that instant URL I was talking about. The special link that you're able to send to the clients. Copy to clipboard. They're able to see this demo, interact with it. It looks like it's on Pona.com. but it's not. This is just an overlay of how it would look.
Welcome to our website. What is your name?
Let's look at export. Now you're going to want to give your client access to the different chats that people are having with the website that you've added the HumanBot to. This lets you make your own branded web page that you can send to them and they can export. So you can put in your company name, put in a company URL, company logo, the time span, get the special URL. You can see, please download your chat transcripts, the name of the campaign, the date, and they can download a CSV file with all the chat responses that came in today. All self-service. Let's look at analytics. Let's look at this project here. Here we can get an idea of who's visiting our site, what time they're visiting, and what kind of answers they're giving. So in this chat, here's responses for today. Take a look back at yesterday. We can see how many people completed the chat, went all the way to the end, 81%. How many people left the chat before it was finished. See the most popular day of the week, Wednesday. I just made this chat a couple days ago. Most popular time of the day, afternoon, evening. Most popular country. Then we can see responses to the different questions. So we had this, do you want to chat question? The yes and the no's. How many of the chats we were able to collect an email from? We asked a question about their favorite color. We've got a three-way tie here. Favorite food. This was an open-ended question. We got all kinds of choices. All these can also be filtered by country. So for example, we say favorite food, but then also specific to the United States. And we can actually see the actual chats. Come here. We can see the visitors for this day. We can see their chats. We can export this chat. We also have the option to delete this chat. It's kind of useful in combination with searching by name or email in case we need to delete something for GDPR. Export the entire range of results. Next, you see some of these options have this document training rescan. This tells the AI to go back out and look at the websites again to get any changes. So for example, if the contact information changed or the hours changed or more services were added, you can rescan the pages from here to get the latest details. You can edit a campaign. This comes back into the wizard, so you can make an adjustment, change the avatar, make adjustments to your chat tree. You also have the option to clone a campaign. So rather than editing the original, it'll make a copy and let you modify that. And finally, there's the option to delete the campaign. Now there's an enable, disable switch here. This lets you turn off a chat without actually deleting it. So the code will still be on their web page, but the HumanBot won't appear until it's been enabled again. Once you have a lot of campaigns, it can be quicker to do searches. Put a keyword. And we're almost done. Next tab, My Purchases. This shows what you've bought, any possible upgrades, with buttons to either buy or go to the training page for that product. We have support, page that shows our support email, the tutorials, that's where you are now, and finally, our profile. Click here. We can log out, click Profile. We have our email address. This is our login. This can't be changed. Our name, phone number, time zone. You can either have a light theme or a dark theme on the web page. API key, that's related to Zapier. Cover that separately. We can update our password. We check this, type in our new password. Company data. These are the defaults that are used in that Powered by branding or that customer chat access portal. So we can just set them here. It'll be applied to all new campaigns, but you can override them on a per campaign basis. Notifications. This lets you choose if by default, if you want to get an email when a campaign has been created, and what email it should go to. This will mainly apply if you're not using the talking virtual assistants, since they're instant. It'll only apply if you use the welcome message and the pre-rendered avatars. Now let's go back and look at some of the other campaign types. Now if you turn off the virtual assistant, it's going to be a slightly different workflow. So yes, let's turn this off. Start from scratch. Now this step is almost the same. We have our human avatars. We have a new option, green screen. Since this is pre-recorded, we can upload in a green screen video and use that for our welcome message. So here it's already automatically removed the background.
If you're in need of a dentist,
No video. If we want, we can tweak it to try to get rid of the green outline. Now, this did a pretty good job already. Gonna jump around. We can use this eyedropper to grab the background color. This is got a nice solid green, so I'll just grab anywhere. We have the similarity and blend options. So blend is for the edges. Similarity is how close the background is before it's removed. So I'm going to see if I lower that. You know, the background's already back through. Now the green edge is pretty much gone. But if I go too far, it takes him too. And blend. It's starting to fade away. Again, you can kind of tweak these, play around with them, but the defaults are pretty good. Let's choose a pre-made avatar. Now the avatar is only going to speak this welcome message. It won't talk throughout the chat. So we have some additional options here rather than just picking the language and the voice like before. We have all the same accents and voices. We now have the option to choose a pre-made script, and we can type in our welcome message. We're given a ready-made response with our avatar's name. We can listen to it.
Hello. My name is Helena.
We can adjust the speed, the pitch, set that back. We can also auto-translate. So for example, here the script is in English, but if I were to choose a German voice, auto-translate, and import, we can see we now have the German translation.
Hallo. Mein Name ist Helena. Womit kann ich Ihnen behilflich sein?
We also have the option to record audio. It's going to record our own voice within the browser, and that's what the avatar will speak. Or we can upload an audio file that we've created separately into the app. Now there's one more difference when you're not using the talking avatar. This is the same. Just load in a tree. Here, step 5, player options. We have this new section, auto play. Now browsers are going to block automatic playback by default. So this will add a play button over the top of the avatar so the user knows to click it to play the welcome message. Now by default, it starts playback muted, so they'll see the avatar moving and talking. That'll kind of draw their eye. When they click, it'll start playing from the beginning. Now to really stress that point, you can turn on Attention Grabber. And that's going to make this little icon here, that's either going to be a play button, a finger, or some text, vibrate around. Now if you choose text, you can type in what text you want it to say. Click for sound. And again, these only apply when you're not using the talking virtual avatar. Those you'll click and it'll start talking as soon as you interact with the window. Let's jump back. The last two types, avatar only. This basically does away with the chat. We still pick our avatar, pick our script, name and logo, but no chat window anymore. We skip the chat tree right under player options and saving. Final type, green screen video. I'm going to choose our avatar. We'll choose what we want them to say. Then we'll simply save. So there'll be no chat. You won't be able to embed this onto a website. The final result will just be a green screen video that you can then use in other applications. And that's it for this HumanBot overview. Be sure to check out the other tutorials on this page for more in-depth videos on specific features. Thanks for watching.